provides for the classification and management of protected areas in the Philippines. Governs the management, protection, and utilization of forest lands and resources. Protects and conserve wildlife species and their habitats. Announcement for the new SAC officer. Magandang araw, Luzon,
Visayas,
at Mindanao. Ako si James Villahermosa.
at ako si Rizel Tilin.
At ito ang Bantay Kalikasan News.
Ngayong araw, tatalakayan natin ang pangunahing batas na naglalayong protektahan ang likas na yaman sa Pilipinas. Simulan natin kay Adriatico, tungkol sa National Integrated Protected Areas System.
Salamat, Tilin. Upang mas maunawaan natin ang NEPAS, ating makapanayam si Mr. Villahermosa, representative ng DNR sa San Francisco. Magandang umaga, sir.
Magandang umaga naman.
Matanong ko lang, ano po ba ang NEPAS?
Ang NEPAS ay nangangahulugang National Integrated Protected Area System na itinatag ito sa ilalim ng Republic Act No. 7586 at pinalawak sa pamamagitan ng Expanded NEPAS Act of 2018 RA 11038.
Ano-ano po din ba ang mga layunin nito?
Ang layunin ng NEPAS ay protektahan ang mga likas na tirahan at mga uri ng hayop at halaman. Isulong ang sustainable o pangmatagalang pag-unlad. Isali ang mga lokal na komunidad at katutubong pamayanan sa pangangalaga ng kalikasan. Panatilihin ang mga lugar na may ecological, cultural at mga tanawing mga magaganda.
Last po na tanong ko, pwede po bang magbigay kayo ng mga halimbawa sa lugar na pinoprotektahan sa ilalim ng NEPAS?
Isa sa mga lugar na pinoprotektahan ng NEPAS, ito ay tinatawag na Tabhataha Reefs Natural Park sa Palawan. Meron ding Mount Apu Natural Park sa Mindanao at Puerto Princesa Subterranean River National Park sa Palawan.
Maraming salamat po, Mr. Villahermosa, sa pagbibigay ng mga impormasyon.
Walang anuman?
At yan lang po, ako si Adriatico. Balik sa iyo, Tilin.
Maraming salamat, Adriatico, at magbabalik ang Bantay Kalikasan News.
Baho. Ang lansa. Bastawas, ang 2-in-1 Dio ng bayan, bilang kilikili, pangpaarin. No preservative, hypoallergenic, and antibacterial, tag 25 pesos lang. Bili na!
Nagbabalik ang Bantay Kalikasan News. Ngayon naman, dumako tayo sa isa pang mahalagang batas ukol sa ating kagubatan. Narito si Wendelin Bacor para sa detalye.
Welcome to Jaya Field Property Group. Today, we explore Presidential Decree 705, or the Revised Forestry Code of the Philippines, approved on May 19, 1975 by President Ferdinand E. Marcos. This decree focuses on sustainable land management and forest conservation, vital for real estate development. PD 705 defined land classification critical to real estate. This includes alienable and disposal lands, forest reservation, and mineral lands. Proper classifications ensure responsible development. Forest reservation play a significant role preserving ecological balance while supporting sustainable property development. PD 705 mandates clear boundaries to avoid encouragement. Alienable and disposal lands are crucial for housing and commercial purposes. PD 705 ensures these lands are properly classified and responsibly managed. PD 705 emphasizes sustainable practices, reforestation, and soil erosion control, which are essential for responsible property development. Non-compliance with PD 705 can lead to hefty penalties including fines, imprisonment, or property confiscation. Developers must prioritize legal and sustainable practices. PD 705 guides sustainable land use and responsible use real estate practices. Promotes sustainable land use, encourages responsible development while preserving natural resources. Support responsible development ensures that real estate projects align with ecological and legal standards. Protects forest ecosystems. Safeguard forests to maintain biodiversity and prevent land degradations. Adhering to each developers contribute to ecological preservation and community welfare.
Sa ilalim ng batas na ito, pinagtitibay ang balanse at paggamit at pagpapahalaga ng ating forest resources. Isang malagang hakbang laban sa deforestation at climate change. Mula rito sa Agusan del Sur School of Arts and Trades, ako si Wendelin May Bacor nag-uulat.
Maraming salamat, Wendelin Bacor, at magpapatuloy ang balita pagkatapos ng sumusunod na patalastas.
Hala, nahulog! Hala, nahulog! Hala, nahulog! Try mo kasi itong Lucky Me Pancit Canton no drink cooking. Bago yan eh. Magpakulo ng 3/4 cup water at ilagay ang noodles. Haluin ang noodles hanggang matuyo ang tubig. Matuyo! Matuyo! I-mix ang noodles with the seasoning. Mix! 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 Enjoy! Pwede rin may itlog. Wow! May itlog!
At para sa huling ulat, atin namang pakinggan si Jerome Sanchez na magbibigay ng impormasyon tungkol sa wildlife conservation. Jerome?
Thank you, James. In the world teeming with biodiversity, the Philippines stand as a for-rich tapestry and wildlife.
Wildlife Resources Conservation and Protection Act comes into play, enacted by the 11th Congress of the Philippines on July 30, 2001. This legislation aims to conserve and protect wildlife under habitats across the country. Its key objectives include conserving and protecting wildlife species under habitats, regulating the collection and trade of wildlife, and the law scopes extensive, covering all wildlife species, whether terrestrial or aquatic. It assigned the Department of Environmental and Natural Resources, or DENR, and the Department of Agriculture as lead agencies responsible for formulating and implementing policies for wildlife conservation. Critical habitats and protected areas are established under this law, along with strict regulation on the collection, hunting, and trade of wildlife species. Permit and license are required for these activities to ensure the sustainability. Furthermore, the Act promotes scientific research, conservation, breeding, and reintroduction programs for endangered species, public awareness, and education are also key components with information campaigns and the integration of wildlife conservation topics into the educational curriculum of acts such as illegal collection, hunting, and trade are met with fines and imprisonment. In the coastal communities of Municipality of Manay, Davao Oriental, the implementation of RA 9147 has been evaluated. Despite the community's knowledge of endangered marine species, there are significant gaps in their understanding of the law. Prohibited acts, this has been compounded by insufficient information, education, and communication campaigns and inadequate budget of implementation. The Municipal Environmental and Natural Resources Office of MENRO of Manay has been active in advocating for the law through various activities like coastal cleanups and information campaigns. However, challenges remains in ensuring effective enforcement and community engagement. As SWOT analysis of the implementation reveals the following: for the strengths, strong legal framework and designated agencies establish critical habitats and protected areas; its weaknesses, insufficient budget and resources, and limited communities awareness and participation. Its opportunities include potential for increased public-private partnership, enhancement of ecotourism, and sustainable practices. Its threats, ongoing illegal wildlife trade and pushing environmental degradation, and climate change impacts to strengthen the implementation of RA 9147. The following recommendations are made: intensity information, education, and communication campaigns to better inform the community, ensure insufficient budget allocation for wildlife conservation activities, strengthening community-based monitoring and enforcement through programs like Bantay Dagat, enhance partnership with non-governmental organizations and the private sector to support conservation efforts, and lastly, by taking the steps, we can better protect the rich biodiversity of the Philippines for future generation.
Isang mahalagang paalala na ang kalikasan ay hindi lang dapat natin enjoy, kundi responsibilidad din natin itong pangalagaan. Ako si Jerome Sanchez para sa Bantay Kalikasan News.
Maraming salamat, Jerome, para sa mga detalye. At iyan ang kabuuan ng ating espesyal na ulat sa Natural Resources Management.
At ngayon, James, pakinggan naman natin ang ulat ni Clemente. Clemente.
Maraming salamat, Miss Sili. At ngayon ay narito tayo sa Agusan del Sur School of Arts and Trades upang makapanayam si Miss Batubalani na tumatakbo bilang SAC President sa paaralan.
Magandang araw, Miss Batubalani. Magandang araw din, Miss Clemente. May ilan lang po kaming katanungan. Ano po ang maaaring asahan o maging ekspektasyon ng mga mag-aaral kung sakaling ikaw ay manalo bilang SAC President?
Kung ako ay mananalo bilang presidente ng Student Council, aasahan ng mga mag-aral na gagamitin ko ang aking posisyon para mamuno at sumuporta sa mga mag-aaral ng ASA.
Susunod na katanungan. Maaari po ba namin malaman kung ano-ano ang plataforma na ipinapatutulog?
Ang plataforma ng aming party list ay ang pagkakaroon ng striktong implementasyon ng pagsuot ng uniforme ng mga estudyante, Wi-Fi vending machines, ang school canteen at iba pang mga batas na maaaring makakabuti sa ating paaralan.
Huling katanungan. Ano po ang inyong mensahe sa mag-aaral na sa ASA?
Sa mga mag-aaral ng ASA, kung sakaling ako ay nanalo, ibibigay ko ang aking suporta at gagamitin ang aking pag-leader para sa ikabubuti ng ating paaralan.
Salamat po.
Salamat din.
At yun lamang po. Ako po si Miss Risa Loren E. Clemente. Magbabalik sa studio. Salamat.
Sama-sama nating pangalagaan ang kalikasan para sa atin at sumusunod na henerasyon. Ako si James Villahermosa
At ako si Lysel Tilin.
at ito ang Bantay Kalikasan News.